The worst point in my life was I was 25 years old. I was married. I had gotten back from Germany and finding out that my husband was having an affair. After that, I went to the doctor and I thought I had a bladder infection, but it proved to be a pregnancy. It was the most difficult time because I didn't want to stay married anymore. He didn't want to stay married anymore. I was having a child that he didn't want. I had gotten away from God earlier, maybe 10 years earlier, due to a lot of circumstances that just pushed me away from the church. I thought mistakenly that the church was God and not that God was God. And so I fell on some ice and I got hurt really bad. And then I got put on bed rest at 4 months pregnant with 2 other children that I had to take care of. I didn't have a great support system, so it was me and the kids and working to feed them and clothe them and get them out to school and get laundry done. And I was just depressed. I was despondent. I couldn't sleep in the bed because it hurt me to lay flat because of the fall. I'd hurt my back. But then I'm laying on the couch one night and I wake up, it's 2:00 in the morning. And the 700 Club was on. Now that was just weird to me because I never watched Christian anything. I had gotten so far away from church, it was unreal. So I turned the TV off and I asked the kids, what were you watching on TV? Did you watch something after I went to sleep? And they're like, no, Ma. I said, okay. So the second night, same thing, 2:00 in the morning, I'm awakened, 700 Club is on. I asked the kids again, I said, quit lying to me. The TV ain't just turning on to the 700 Club. And they said, no, Mom. So the third night, I got up to turn the TV off, and Ben Kenchlow, I think was his name, from the 700 Club, he said, there's a lady getting ready to turn off the TV. Don't do it. God's got a word for you. The only thing missing from that was my name. So I sat back, and the word was, you've been hurt really bad. You're going through a thing, but God will redeem you. God is going to help you. Turn your life to God. I know you've been away from church. This, I'm telling you, it was like God had this word that was just for me. I had friends trying to get me in church. My mom was trying to get me in church. I wasn't going to church. But that was the beginning of me reconnecting with God. And it's also led me to believe that when he says, I will not leave you or forsake you, he means it. Because that was designed just for me. He never left me. He never forsake me. He pulled me back in. I went willingly. I had nowhere else to go. I had nothing else I could do. I was scared the baby was going to be impacted by the fall. Baby's fine. Trina's not. I was afraid because I was so depressed that it would affect the baby. He was the easiest kid to raise to date. He was so peaceful because from that point forward, I started reading my Bible every day. I started praying and I started asking God to fill those voids because I had a lot of anger. I had a lot of bitterness. And above all, I had a lot of unforgiveness. And God was telling me to forgive my soon-to-be ex-husband. It's like, forgive? Wait a minute, aren't you going to strike him dead? You see what he's doing? And God said, forgive. And he led me to the books of the Bible, the verses that talk about forgiveness and how forgiveness helps you. So the moral of the story for me was God never failed me. I stepped away from him and he still sought me out. I ran from him and he was still there. He never left me. He never forsook me. So I'm grateful to God for that, and to my mom and my dad, because I promise you I was just living on their prayers. So I try to help others get through some of the worst times in their lives, because when I felt like I had nobody, I had God. I didn't even know it. And I don't want anybody to ever feel like they have nobody. This was one of my moments that Jesus gave his life for.